Rod Stewart, welcome back to our channel. A name that is now a timeless emblem in the music industry with his unique, raspy voice and enthralling. Rod's songwriting skills go beyond simply being in. He was a living legend as well as an artist. Business Insider recognized him as one of the 50 best-selling artists worldwide. I don't have time for timeless hits. Wish to discuss it at tonight's The Mag. You may night, but can the brilliance of fame actually conceals the shadows within. Rod's free performance in Brazil in 1994 attracted more than 3.5 million people, establishing a record that not many can currently match. Beneath that stunning figure is tumultuous romances and unmet expectations, and sorrows that are carefully concealed but not. Everybody is familiar with a young man who once ended the goal of playing football, become a musical legend, but the cost of such glory came at the expense of innumerable personal. Rod Stewart's life is a sacrifice. Harmony of inconsistencies between the theatrical spotlight and his silent struggles. Between global admiration and disease. And invisible battles that changed Rod from a football player wearing cleats into a dazzling star, and what's really behind it. Let's reveal everything behind the curtain of fame. Early life was born in January in this video. Childhood. Rod Reed David in North London on the 10th of 1945. Out of the 5, Stewart was the youngest. Robert Joseph Stewart's children. Edinburgh-based Scottish master builder. And Englishwoman Elsie Rebecca Gilbart. Growing up, a woman from Upper Holloway. Rod's early years during World War II were spent in a small house in above the news agency store owned by his father on, as the beloved youngest, Archway Road. Child from a family that wasn't wealthy. Neither does poor Rod remember his childhood as incredibly joyful. Rod's academic accomplishments during those days were: he was an unimpressive student at Highgate Elementary School, and then William Grimshaw High School, but did not leave enduring impression yet. While his greatness was not hinted at in school reports, his extracurricular interests provided, as a child, glimpses of a bright future. Modeling was Stewart's main passion. Railroads, but his true love, which his early years were affected by. He was not just an ardent football player, an Arsenal Football Club supporter, but, additionally, he was the most gifted athlete in his family's impressive performance as a center back for the boys' middle school team. Melody, but it also had a compelling. Rod's family had an important influence in his life. Al Jolson's admirers frequently sing and, at home, listening to his tunes, a love that significantly impacted Rod's future. The first musical style Rod was exposed to, rock and roll, emerged from the amazing performances by Little Haley, Richard, and his Comets by. Rod was 15 years old when he took up his first guitar and soon became a member of The Cool Cats are a skiffle ensemble where he started practicing his musical abilities. Nevertheless, Rod first sought a football career, going to trials with Manchester FC during the summer of. But in 1960, when the club didn't make an offer, which resulted in a crucial choice in his life, considering his choosing to become a professional, a musician or athlete, Rod jokes, acknowledged that he went with the latter because he was attracted to a way of life where he may create songs while drinking. Early professional life. Rod Stewart's early years in his career were distinguished by a range of occupations, and his investigation of music following employment at his family's business and providing publications. He worked as a worker at a funeral home and Highgate Cemetery in North Finchley with other peculiar employment. He started his musical career in earnest in 1961, he visited Denmark Street to record producer Joe Meek's audition. Despite the fact that the attempt failed. Attracted to folk music, Stewart became engrossed himself in Ewan McLe Woody's writings. Bob Dylan and Guthrie embracing the beatnik way of life, including living on a houseboat for a while in Shoreham near sea. Additionally, he had an active part in the joining the nuclear disarmament campaign, marches and demonstrations in Stewart's personal. During this time, life was equally. His relationship with art was turbulent. Susanna Beaufy, a student, stopped when she became expecting, and the child was subsequently. Around this period, they were placed for adoption. Stewart started performing with a folk singer. Jones's journey through Paris and Barcelona before to being expelled from Spain for being avaricious in. By the middle of the 1960s, Stewart had adopted the mod way of life, including his trademark spike hairdo that might turn become his trademark, losing interest in rock and roll. Otis served as his inspiration. Readings, performances, and started investigating soul and rhythm and blues. October music. Stewart became a member of the Rhythm and Blues in 1963. Combined the dimensions to create a harmonica. Marking as a musician and part-time vocalist. His debut performance as a professional musician. Despite the fact that his time with the organization was brief because of internal disputes. Through experience, he became aware of London's lively R&B scene and assisted him in honing his harmonica abilities in contrast to the think that Millie was not played on by Stewart. The popular song, My Boy Lollipop, by Small. On that track, the harmonica player was Peter Hogan of the Dimensions, most likely. These formative encounters established a varied, yet difficult basis for Stewart's subsequent achievement in the music business. An important point in Stewart's song. The trip took place in January 1964 at the station at Twickenham when Long John Baldry found him playing the harmonica. After a meeting, Stewart joined Bald's band, making £35 a week and marking the formal beginning of his career as a musician. Rod the Mod's nickname during his career. Own sense of style and emerging talent for music started to draw focus on the music scene of London with shows at locations such as the Marquee Club and a recording debut without credit. Over My Head on the track. Stewart's soon desire led him to pursue a solo career that resulted in a Decca contract. August Records. He disapproved of the popular tunes in 1964, suggested by the name rather than demanding, on Sonny Boy's recording tracks. Williamson proving his dedication to genuineness, but his first single, Greetings, Little Schoolgirl Who Failed the chart following a brief disagreement with Baldry. Stewart worked as a lone man and eventually became a co-founder of the soul group Steam Bundle containing Baldry and additional. Despite the fact that the group opened for large, behaves as though they were the Rolling Stones. Not able to record because of a contract problems by 1966 after the collapse. Stewart joined the shotgun of the Steam Packet Express, but ended up being unhappy with playing music that wasn't his own, encouraging him to concentrate more on writing songs in spite of the fact that obstacles and problems in locating his distinct voice throughout these formative experiences created the foundation for paving Stewart's signature musical style, the path to his extraordinary success. would accomplish on their own in the upcoming years. Success in a solo career. A significant turning moment in career success. In February, Rod Stewart began his career. He joined the Jeff Beck Group in 1967. Stewart set out with Ronnie Wood on a difficult journey coping with conflict and frequent lineup changes. Despite these challenges, management Rod saw a fantastic chance to mold his unique manner and voice, displayed in the record's truth and BLA, but internal conflicts demonstrated unbeatable and in 1969, Stewart took the chance to depart from the group in a way that eventually began a new phase in his professional life. He signed with Mercury a year later Records and started constructing his solo career. And Old Raincoat, his debut album, won't ever disappoint. You didn't succeed. Significant financial success, but laid the basis for his distinctive rock blend. Stewart, folk and blues around this time. Additionally joined phases where his talent was thrived, especially with records like Each Image Tells a Tale, Never a Dull Time, but the enormous success. Tensions were caused by Maggie May, the hit, as Stewart's fame started within the band to surpass the other participants. By 1975, the gang broke up, and Stewart completely. When he relocated, he accepted his journey alone. Stewart did not travel to Los Angeles that year. Not only relocated, but also the album Atlantic's musical direction. In Crossing, Tom Dow and the rhythm section's Muscle Shoals indicated a daring change in his sound. The song Sail became a worldwide anthem, confirming Stewart's standing as more than merely a rock star, nevertheless, as an AR performer of global impact. But Rod never. In 1978, he gave up looking for new frontiers. Startled the music industry by taking a risk. You Think I'm Hot When We Go Disco with Ya. Despite being blamed for selling out, hit the global charts, demonstrating his limitless capacity for innovation in the 1980s. Observed a vibrant Rod Stewart conducting experiments, ranging from the new wave to the complexity of synth-pop. Records include as Stupidity and I'm Yours Tonight helped him keep his celebrity status even midst of disputes such as playing in South Africa during Stewart, apartheid. In spite of the criticism, stayed a creative force for a short time. Rejoining Jeff Beck resulted in a beautiful cover of People Getting Ready, proving that his music persisted. In order to motivate, Stewart produced a victorious comeback with the album released from Order, a combination that is a marvel. The song has both a classic and contemporary sound. Forever Young not only accomplished financial triumph, but it also struck a chord strongly with viewers due to its sincere remark regarding his South American tour in 1989. Elevated him to unprecedented heights, attracting. River Plate Stadium has 990,000 spectators in Buenos Aires is evidence of his persistent. Rod Stewart made an appeal in the 1990s, featuring Vagabond Heart, a record full of passion and inventiveness. In the duet with It Takes Two to hit Tina Turner, his position was reaffirmed by Rhythm of My Heart. In 1994, he was at the top of the global charts, admitted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, notoriety, and established a record with a free Copacabana Beach concert drawing approximately 3.5 million admirers, an incredible few people could match Rod Stewart's. Demonstrated that a real artist never sleeps during their laurels, but consistently develops in search of new aspects in their music. His tale is still an endless wellspring of ideas for the world's ongoing development and innovation. Persistent development and innovation. Following decades at the highest level of the Rod Stewart, a musician, is still demonstrate that passion and talent never fade. Dry is not only a legendary figure in music but also an artist who is always changing, willing to stretch his own limits in order to engage the next generation of. In the early 2000s, listeners, Rod started a new phase in his professional life through an examination of the Great American Song, a book that reinterprets traditional American typical albums such as It Had to Be You were more than just homages to classic songs, but also confirmed that his unique, the gruff voice could revitalize well-known melodies that are new for both new and devoted fans. Viewership. Rod's artistic journey didn't stop there in 2009, where he displayed his affection for a variety of genres via the album The Soul Book, in which he revived a classic. This was more than just soul and town songs. It was a message and an artistic endeavor. Music is boundless, and Rod Stewart acts as an intermediary between genres and generations, whether resurfacing to rock and roll while remaining constant, our era's greatest rock classics, or getting into the holiday mood with his Merry Christmas, Baby in the Christmas album. 2012. Rod continuously proved that his essence is not diminished by innovation. Instead, it emphasizes the adaptability and tenacity of an artist who never gives up grabbing for. Nevertheless, Rod's career includes more than merely about album sales or places on the charts with. When he released his 2013 album, he made a sentimental comeback to writing original songs, motivated by the writing process of his. Rod's autobiography not only detailed his narrative using both words and the album's music debuted at the top of the charts in the UK, shattering the previous record for the longest interval between albums that reached the top of the charts. Evidence of his enduring appeal. This achievement wasn't merely commercial, but an accomplishment for a learned artist to consider and direct his life. In recent years, Rod has incorporated his music into persisted in proving that he is not just a guardian of his heritage but also an unrelenting innovator with albums such as Blood, Crimson Roses, and partnerships with the At Your Location, the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. In my heart, I've not just transformed his classic songs, but with additional layers of dimensionality by combining traditional and these projects' modern components are evidence of Rod's capacity for innovation. His music, maintaining its energy and pertinent to all generations. Rod's in 2022, values go beyond music. He turned down a big performance opportunity in Qatar, expressing worries about human rights, a forceful declaration that reaffirmed his standing as an artist in addition to, furthermore, a moral person who isn't scared to defend his convictions. With this action, highlighted his status as a representation of honesty in both character and music. Rod has an unwavering work ethic that goes beyond a continuation of a more extensive career, more than 50 years, but also a affirmation that his love of music continues to have a good career, valued at about $100 million, and Rod will always hold a special place in fans' hearts. In addition to being an artist, Stewart is an icon of culture who has, is, and will keep inspiring others worldwide. Individual life. Biography of Rod Stewart, who is frequently regarded as a glamorous person on stage, is in charge of a personal life full with romantic hues. unions and turbulent times as well as struggles with severe health issues. Obstacles that have strengthened his picture as a representation of tenacity with. Has 3 marriages and a lot of relationships. Rod has 8 children. Children with 5 different women. His romantic life, same to his musical career. Been brilliant yet also tense with questions. Rod's initial marriage to Alana Hamilton in over the course of 5 years, 1979, brought him 2 kids, Kimberly and but irreparable differences, Sean, combined with Rod's hectic schedule, resulted in their separation in. He later wed supermodel Rachel in 1984. Hunter in 1990. However, this union also concluded after 16 years, in which they have 2 kids, Liam, Rod, and Renee. Acknowledged that this split was a severe shock that compelled him to face his flaws in terms of nurturing. Rod discovered family ties in 2007. Stability and contentment with his third. Penny, the wife. Lancaster has had a great time with Penny. Stable and satisfying marriage, raising Alistair and Aidan. Rod are 2 sons together. Identifies as an incurable. Romantic dinners with candlelight that are cherished. With Penny following their kids. He claims that this is how he stays up to date. The relationship's lifeblood, he refers to genuine love, yet family life has not without difficulties. Rod's Sean, his son, has had legal issues involving several arrests and a noteworthy unruly behavior event at Miami Airport. Conduct. In spite of these challenges, Sean maintains that his connection with the 2, his father, is still powerful, maintaining regular communication and sharing moments spent together whenever Rod comes back from his travels outside of his family. Rod Stewart has also encountered difficulties. Major health conflicts. In May 2000, the Globe was shocked to discover that the legendary British rock star had been diagnosed. The announcement of thyroid cancer stunned the music business and crushed the hearts of his millions of loyal followers. Renowned for his distinctively high-pitched voice and vivacious performances, Stewart was abruptly confronted with a dangerous health condition that jeopardized not just his existence but also Rod embarked on his remarkable singing career. Quick response to his diagnosis. Having surgery that same month in order to take out the thyroid cancer, one essential gland that is in charge of for controlling metabolism by the manufacture of hormones, had become a major worry, but the dangers increased further because the procedure might harm his voice cords that were previously impacted by a benign nodule. The decision to have surgery was difficult, vital for survival, but moreover placed his voice, his only musical endeavor, in the postoperative phase, was in jeopardy. Tense and uncertain, Stewart had to overcome the formidable obstacle of relearning the art of singing as a path that was both physically and emotionally demanding. Voice therapy and rehabilitation. He put up a lot of effort to restore the power and caliber of this stage of his voice. Wasn't merely a physical recuperation as well as a procedure of resilience and self-reinvention as a LED. Rod, a performer overcoming cancer, to take an active part in altruistic endeavors, especially encouraging research on pediatric cancer through the City of Hope group. However, the tribulations were far from over. 20 years later, in 2019, Rod encountered yet another conflict with. He kept the malignancy, this time prostate cancer. This battle in private for 3 years until declaring his victory in public once once more showcasing his exceptional, moreover, strength and resolve. In his fight against cancer, Rod has suffered from football-related injuries that led to knee and ankle surgeries. His physical endurance was put to the strain by obstacles, but also emphasized to him the significance of family, most recently the arrival of his, as the third grandchild has highlighted Rod's family's importance in his life. Children who are worried about his health have kindly reminded him to slow down, particularly while he gets ready for a 40-show world. Explore the life of Rod Stewart from a romantic connections and family struggles to fierce health struggles serve as evidence of tenacity, love, and unwavering zeal in the spotlight. His legacy endures despite being dimmed radiantly in his family's hearts, and life is presented by millions of fans worldwide. Current life and heritage. And Rod Stewart's legacy at age 79 still serves as the leader of a vibrant and ever